Okay, so for today we are, like I said, gonna do 5.3. So let's return back to Norvant and get this story going. I'm ready to see what the end of 5.3 is all about. So, in the name of the light, the manager of suites is looking a little anxious. Okay. Ah, Master Antokyo, will you be venturing forth today? Don't be sure to take care of if so. Though they say the star shower was harmless, one can never be too careful. Yo, Hadalinks, what's up, man? It's been a long time, dude. I missed you. Yo, it's good to see you again. But I concede, it is not for me to tell the Warrior of Darkness how to look after himself. Old habits, you understand? Oh yeah, that's okay. Ah, Sen, how very opportune. Who's this? Oh, okay, what's up, man? Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to thank you. You see, for revealing to us the truth of Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tales set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is in the case of Arbert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. Yeah, definitely surprised. It's a good to catch you stream again, man. Oh yeah, it is always nice to see you again, dude. At the time, I was not certain what to make of it all, but I could see the effect his words had on those around him, around me. And then the stars rained down from the sky, and well, you know the rest. Yeah, the scene, that moment where they had like the stars coming down was crazy, dude. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen, but I was determined to express my gratitude, and so here I am. Thank you, Sam, for giving voice to the truth and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of these matters committed to writing, I would be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there is anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only say the word. I don't know anything at the current moment, for real. Yeah, I'm trying to finish up the story as much as possible now. It's good to actually get close to the end. What can you tell me about the Warriors of Light? Very well. Tell me what the situation is like in the city. I mean, I feel like we already know a lot about the Warriors of Light, so... how's the city doing? The situation in the city? Do you mean the people awakening as Warriors of Light? Well, while questions remain about the circumstances surrounding Arbert's return, history tells us that what took place may not be entirely unprecedented. But to understand that requires an understanding of Warrior of Light in a broader Vratic context. If it pleases you, I should be glad to provide an overview. I flatter myself that it may grant you a better grasp of that which is occurring not only in the Crystarium, but the world at large. Okay, sure. Excellent, I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant text. Pray join me at your earliest convenience. No rest for the righteous, it would seem. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Do not let me keep you, sir. I bid you a pleasant day. Nice. Ah, Sen, excellent timing. I have but this moment finished gathering the materials for our lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warrior of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus only upon the details that seem most relevant. And here goes everybody else. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. We've been out keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up my knowledge of familiars, and Alphino volunteered to help. I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light. Yeah, she's over in the empty right now, trying to figure out what's going on with Eden. May I join you? Sure thing. Of course, the more the merrier. If you care to find a table below, I shall be down with the books in a moment. Alright. Story time, I guess. We're one to pore over the annuals of Radic history. One would note that the comparatively frequent recurrence of the individuals hailed as the Warriors of Light. Arbert and his comrades required no introduction, but many others bore the amphiant long before them. Okay, to name but a few, there was a Tothe Will, legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodfort and Solard, the fabled Durin and Gilgent duo of Volbart. I don't know if I'm pronouncing all those right, but I'll try my best. Okay, and no list of Radic heroes would be complete without the Archmage, Tiana of Ronka. In older texts, oh yeah, we learned about her. She too was called a Warrior of Light. Oh, so that one girl that was in the tomb. It did surprise me how ready people were to forget the negative associations of the title, but it makes sense if it's been around for centuries. Verily, in ages past, it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the flood, however, light came to be regarded with fear, the title used not to exalt, but to reveal. A far cry from its beginnings. Wait, that's the Warrior of Light in Final Fantasy 1. But yeah, this is definitely the Warrior of Light in the first Final Fantasy game. This, my friends, is Norvant's oldest epic, the original tale of the struggle between good and evil. Wait, I don't think the original Final Fantasy was taking place in Norvant, was it? Unless I'm missing something. In a time when all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesied hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself a foot soldier, and thus did he come to be known as the Warrior of Light. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the selfsame epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. So like the other games. Pretty much 2 through 14, 15 or whatever. And in time, Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title of Warrior Light is also used in the source, right? Though the manners in which individuals have earned it are many and varied. Heroes have been honored thus since inequity. Nor does the custom show any sign of dying out, as you can well attest. Right? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Indeed not. Let us imagine a man who has awakened to the echo and is able to hear Heidelin's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself as a warrior of light. Yeah, but we already discovered that Heidelin is actually a primal. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not in itself make one a hero. And conversely, there will have been no few heroes who were not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they came to use the title Warrior of Light and the word hero interchangeably. Sounds about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. Yeah, let's all go to Final Fantasy X's world. The original Warrior of Light. Oh no, Final Fantasy 14 mix and matches all the Final Fantasy mythos. Yeah, that's what I kind of gathered from originally. Is that they were like mixing in different mythologies within the whole entire series. But right here, it was kind of like making me think, wait, what's going on here? Is this like the actual original Warrior of Light, or is this like kind of like how Loki is a variant of the Warrior of Light or something? I don't know, because you know Final Fantasy takes place in different worlds, of course. But I'm just spitballing here, so who knows? I mean, this is pretty much Final Fantasy's All-Stars, where they're just bringing in everything within the whole franchise into this one game. Okay, Heidelin did call me a Warrior of Light. What's in a name? It doesn't change anything. And there I was thinking I was special. I think I'm gonna go with Heidelin did call me a Warrior of Light. She did? I never heard her voice myself. But I can feel her presence. Perhaps through Memphilia. At any rate, assuming all of this is true, and there's a common thread beyond the epithet, I doubt the Scions will have been amused, right? They would not be happy about it. To have the world at large associate light and by extension Heidelin with good must have an added insult to injury. True. While this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Mayhap it be better if I excuse myself? Oh snap, yeah. A lot of the people here don't even know that I'm actually the Warrior of Light. They think I'm the Warrior of Darkness. Oh, no need for that, my friend. Pray accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warrior of Light has given us much to ponder. Oh, did someone say Warrior of Light? Someone tripping balls over there? You dropped your books. Oh, what? Rakitio? Are you alright? Ah, my precious tomes. Did I not say you must take care in the cabinet? I don't think I've ever seen a young cat girl. You too, Arkil and Irwell? We're sorry, Master Morin. Gasp. Aren't you the Warrior of Darkness? I don't know how to say your name, but okay, nice to meet you. And I want to help everyone. That's nice. Please tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a warrior of light. I love the facial expressions. Those eyes, you could just sink right into those eyes. Setting aside our misgivings, it would seem churlish to discharge the young lady. Let's hear what she has to say. Oh, you know, I'm gonna listen. No harm done to the children, at least. Even children want to become warriors of light. Oh, you know it. We're sorry, we knocked over the books. Do you remember me? Were you the kid that I was talking to at the end of Shadowbringers? I believe so. Your children's inquisitiveness is to be commended, but my precious tombs. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a young cat girl. They're actually kind of cute looking. This one kind of reminds me of a young Yestola a little bit. Chloe Wondrous Tales. Wait. That actually sounds kind of familiar. Oh. Oh yeah, I did see her. That's right, she gives you the books and all that. In the journals, it actually helps you like get XP and stuff. And you can get, what is it? The MGP for the Ghost Saucer and stuff. Okay, yeah, I remember her. I haven't really talked to her a whole lot, to be honest. Raiki? So I want to be a warrior of light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people. And an apothecary. Oh, interesting. And I'm going to help everyone in the Crystarium. No, in all of Norvant. When I told Arkale and Urwell this, they said that the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. Okay. That's actually a good path, because everybody else is like, I want to be adventurer, and she's like, I'll be apothecary. And that's good. When a little cat girl tells you to slay gods, to tell her a bedtime story, you slay gods. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I've definitely been doing it. But I haven't done the tell her the bedtime story, so she might be a little upset on that one. That's my bad. But this place is so big, and we don't have the faintest idea where to begin. Searching at this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. If one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find treaties on the potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young, but, Esteemed warriors of darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Raki to Spirit, I never got to say that word correctly. Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the Chergurians at their work. Sounds like a plan. It seems we finished here, so we'll come with you. Cool. You know, let's be a little more cheerful. Last one there's a rotten egg. I'll have to know you're real fast. You're going to be a rotten egg. Oh, okay. Okay. And he's still worried about his books. She's like, whoa, look at this crowd. Well now, what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors? Well, this little girl says she want to be apothecary. You think you can help her out? Is that the way of it, sweetie? You wish to learn about medicine? That's right. I want to become a warrior like who uses potions to help people all over the world. Well, that is very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No few at our infirmary yearn to venture forth as a warrior of light. But ultimately, they have all decided not to pursue that dream. Huh? Why? Because the people here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, the artisans who toil tirelessly that we might sustain our way of life, and younglings like you who are the future of the Carsarium. They couldn't simply abandon them, you see, and so, difficult though it was, they made a decision to remain. Yeah, I remember like hearing like a lot of people wanting to leave, and I was like, oh gosh, this is terrible. How are they gonna like keep this place running? And I'm just surprised that they were actually able to convince everybody to abandon the dream of going on adventures just to do work. If you told me, nah man, shut yourself up, you need to get to work, I'll be extremely upset. Not gonna lie. Then does this mean my dream isn't any good? Oh, look at her. She looks like she's about to cry. She's about to cry. Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream. It would be my pleasure to help you to pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our Cherogans may set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive towards the day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. Though I must warn you, ours is not an easy path. No, you must work very, very hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever. Just you watch. Hee, that's the spirit. Without further ado, then, may I entrust you with a task? I have placed an order at Sweet Steve for a potion ingredient, and I would like you to go and collect it. Oh, an ingredient? Leave it to me, miss. And there she goes. Such abundance of energy. Though I can't help wonder if she'll be alright by herself. My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her? When you arrive at Sweet Steve, speak with a woman named Gracian, and she will point you in the right direction. I shall join you. As the one who suggests this course to Rikito Toi, I would assist in her first steps. Cool, Alphana. Alize, Reen, what you gonna be doing? And what about the two of you? Are you coming along too? Well, we do want to become warriors of light, just not the same kind as her. So we'll wait for you here, warrior of darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight. Okay. In that case, Reen and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations. Alright, well, good luck out there. The fact that they're like, we'll just wait for you here until you come back. What if I don't come back? What makes you so sure I'll make a comeback? Are these small enough? I don't know, you tell me. Ah, there you are. As it turns out, the ingredient still wants for harvesting, so we're going about that now. Okay. Started from scratch. Yes, 4 apples, 7 lemons. How many times must you count them? If it isn't the warrior of darkness himself, may I assume you are here? You are with Master Alphano? Right. At least you wonder. Chestmill order is for grapes. Oh, those grapes look very big. As busy as we have been of late, however, I regret to say we didn't have the time to harvest them. So it was the apologies that I asked Master Alphino and his young companion to help themselves to the fruits on the vines. Perhaps you could lend them a hand. It's an undersized grapes you'll want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. Okay then. And now it looks like a grape. Oh yeah, I gotta give him credit though. I can't really bash him for it. Oh, you're here too. We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Well, there's the grapes for you. Wow, you picked this many already? Amazing. I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to Chesmel? Yeah, let's do it. I can't wait to see what she's going to do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why, well, a while ago I feel sick, really sick. My body was burning up and I felt so weak I couldn't even get out of bed. Then a traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I ever tasted, but it made me feel better. Calm before the storm. Are you saying something's going to pick up? She was so brave, the apothecary I mean. She went around taking care of people, even when it was dangerous, and I decided I wanted to help people, just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving them to my friends. But I didn't really know what I was doing, or if there was anything else I could do. Then not long ago, a neighbor told me he was going to become a warrior of light and go traveling the world helping people. They told me they were going to be a healer, but they sucked at it. And I thought that was the same as what I wanted to do. I didn't put that in the great order right there, but oh well. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Thaler. Oh, Thaler. I haven't seen him for a bit, so he must already be out there looking for people to help. Yeah. Thaler, one of the guards awoken by the star shower? Yep, that's him. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Riki. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary, and I hope her good example will inspire you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in one day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence, through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesmel. Interesting. It would seem I've been laboring under a misapprehension. I had convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow men abided within them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. And as he so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. With the XIV laboring tirelessly, I doubt not but that a way will be found. Yet, I believe I speak for us all when I say I cannot leave in good consciousness, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. Yeah, that's true. Here's one problem. This is no longer a strange, distant land after all. Norvon has become as home to us, and her people our own. Let's return to Spirix. If it wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. Yeah, that's true. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, thanks for your kind help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes we shall make a vinegar, to which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. As part of her studies, I may just have to give Riki a little taste. Yep, okay. Dang, she's studying potions at a young age. Warrior of Darkness, if you finish helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest to God's fighting. So you want to see me go fight a primal? Let's go do it. Cue us up right now. No, we already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they'll become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. But they shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. The children told us as much while you were away, and in preparation, Chismil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. Sweet! While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show. Yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone follow me. Okay, Alize taking charge and she's running off. Oh, wait, I see. Yeah, Alize loves it whenever we fight. So she's she's like, yo, let's go do this. I'm ready. Alize, wait, just a... come on then, children. Yeah, Alize loves to see us fight. I want to see what Alphino got to say of that. I shall remain here. The other children I leave in your care. My unruly sister included. That's hilarious that he said that. What? Everyone's going outside to see you fight? Whimper. I want to watch too. Aww. But no, I have to study. I'll stay here and help Chismel make the syrup. Alright, good luck. Bruh, bring your children to a primal fight. Yo. That sounds like it could be a hilarious day. Bring them to the Innocence fight. Provide sunglasses. Yeah. That would be pretty awesome. I wonder if they're just gonna comment on how excited Alize is. Let's see. It should be safe enough for the children here. Now, we heard the tales, but at last we get to see you fight with our own eyes. Yeah, but it's not gonna be as exciting as it is in any other time. We've been waiting for you, Warrior of Darkness. Alright, Alize, let's see what you want us to fight. You said those bats? Everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and became a gnosis. To draw them out, we'll use Chesmil's lures, which work for exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so you are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. Oh, Alize, you're trying to get in this too. As proof of successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, I see what you're doing, Alize. Okay, I see what she's doing. Okay, oh, you're hunting too. Yes, well, nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best in sand. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the 2 of you are to stay with Reen. She's really strong too, and will keep you safe. Reen's got to babysit. I feel like Reen's about the same age as them, maybe a little bit older to be honest, but I don't know, how old is Reen to be honest? Without further ado, then let the contest begin. Alright, Alize, let's go. Don't mind us, we'll be watching from a safe distance. Alright, now we just return. Wait, I just realized. I thought these kids wanted to see us fight. They didn't even get to see us fight. They're just gonna see us coming back with the spoils. And these poor kids didn't even get to watch any of the action that neither of us did. Oh well. Well, Fotzan, the children were hanging on their Wait, how? Okay, whatever. As was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Wait. Alize already came here? Okay, no, she's right there. Apologies for the wait. My fangs, not a bad howl, even if I do say so myself. Five, six, seven fangs from Alize. Which means the victor goes to Alize. Sam collected 6. I did collect 6. Okay. I did it. I bested Sam. Oh, dang. Why are you giving that mean look for? In another goddamn life, you didn't even try, did you? I'm sorry, girl. Oh, look at her getting all nervous. And there I was taking it seriously. Spare me your pity next time, will you? Girl, calm down. So children, you've now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? He's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like him. I mean, they're just bats. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched Sand and train hard. Keep it at it for long enough and you'll be strong too. If you don't mind telling us, when did you decide that you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when, oh snap, Arbert appeared, but I've wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister. See, I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Arbert said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkale? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. Wait, I thought you said you wanted to be a Warrior of Light too. But if my friends were in trouble, I know that I would want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them. See the world together. Oh, he definitely sounds like Arbor right there. That's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. I felt as though there was something I had lost, and that I had to go out there and find it. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercise so you can do it by yourselves. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior of Darkness. We will never forget it. Yeah, you better. Wasting my time. I'm kidding. Interesting. Very interesting. I understand how Arkale feels. The star shower didn't awaken me to Heidelin's voice, but the vision of the final days of Amarat burning. It filled me with sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made, it felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind, but when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt, but least you worry. I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning on a Hassian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was planning. Yeah, well, only time will tell. But look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around, lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Rain and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. Uh-oh. What is that? Are you okay, Alize? What's going on, girl? And her eyes were a little different. It's nothing, just a dizzy spell. Seems... Wait! Thancred had that same feeling. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, not to worry. I see you soon. As you ponder Alize's words, you have taken by an urge to revisit the scene of the fateful meeting. Interesting. Hang on. Oh, it's Elidibus here. Are you trying to take Arbert's place in this scene? Go on somewhere, man.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
Oh, did we accidentally summon him? On behalf of the convocation, I bid you welcome to our order. At times you will stand with us, at times you will stand against us. All that you might steer mankind in the very start upon their true course. They're actually wearing Asian masks now. At first you couldn't even see the color of those masks. For yours is the seed of the Elidibus, the emissary, and by this name shall your every action be guided.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
Oh, give back Arbert's body. Yeah. Why must you embroil the people in your plans? What are you plotting? I mean, these two kind of relate to the same. I don't see why Arbert needs his body now. He done passed away. Let's go with this. What do you want the people for?
I merely avail myself of such tools as I require for the conflict to come. That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness.
I never took somebody's body.
I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You. You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose. The convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done. I will strike you down.
Oh, you trying to go right now?
Destroy you, body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness. and I will save the world. One last matter. I bore witness to your final struggle with Emet-Selch. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another. No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude.
Guardia, what you doing here, man?
But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
I figured he wouldn't just go easy. Oh, his body.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
What the heck? What was that, dude?
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed.
Are you sure? Because look at your arm, man.
This is my own doing. The consequence of my recent exertions. It is the tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it.
Oh, yeah. Working with the aura site.
Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope. Or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith, such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future.
I agree, man. I agree.
And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness.
Okay.
Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
Ring, what's up?
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. From, like, the film, from the choreography of what I know, whenever a camera turns like that, that means something else is getting ready to happen next.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
He was the first one who had that weird reaction. I'm so glad I found both you and the XR. Yeah, well, what's going on? I mean, we know Thancred collapsed. The fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment. But come, let us have the details from Reem. It happened after Alizé and I saw the children back to Spirix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He's been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumbled to the ground. Okay, I'll look after him now with Alphino standing by, just in case his healing magic are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the extra told me where to look. I see, it cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry. Okay. Well, let's get going. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's aether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuation. And all of this happened without warning. I bet it's because of the fact that their bodies and their souls has been gone too long. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. Yeah, Thancred had a moment of pause as well. When his water walking charm failed, he was tired, and as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which in retrospect may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. Yeah, Alizé just had a lightheadedness. As Alphino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age, which leaves but one likely cause. The link between body and soul has weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, San, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Krail about our plan. If she has any chance or any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. I agree. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus' plot. Thus far, I have learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there has been sightings of auspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals have invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beasts terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know the sort of thing. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus' call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think these black-clad strangers are Ascians? I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on me, on mine. Alizé, I don't know about that. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. I know you do, but you're on that same level as Thancred right now. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevail upon you to join your efforts. No, why? Why? Why are we sending everybody who's lightheaded right now? That's not a great idea. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beglug and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him a good news. You do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you stay in bed until you need it. Alphino and I will find Urianger. All being well, we will have the news to share by the time you return. Safe travel, Sam. Alright, thank you. Yeah, I think it's a terrible idea to send these people out there. I know you cross the rift all the time, but please take care. Least you misunderstand. I'm not averse to putting my feet up. It's being cuddled like a brittle bone, non-agrarian to... I don't know what that last one was, but okay. 90-year-olds. Oh, okay, I get it now. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I only got 2 left. I need to get more Aetheryte tickets. I had like 100 and so. Gas, Sam, what excellent... I mean, awful timing. Why you say that? You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Uh-oh. Krill's hardly had a moment rest these past few days. That's not good. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me. I call myself a receptionist, and I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. Well, I come to let you guys know what's going on, too. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon, and they want to make sure there are no problems at this inn. You better talk to Krill. She was with the others in Dawn's respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Whoa, prepare myself? I mean, are they really in that bad condition?
Excuse us.
Why is it so dark? They're really building this up.
This way.
They're all just laying in bed.
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax.
Daggone.
Barely alive at all.
That's really frightening right there. Especially since we were just talking to them. Whew.
And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
And it's very nice that she's been trying her best to take care of everybody inside here. Man, it kind of does break your heart just seeing all of them just laying there in their actual bodies, and their bodies are like dying while you've already just spoke to them. What news from the first? I see. Work on Spirit Vessel proceeds apace, but our friends began to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their aether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon. So if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. Oh, she's just like, just go for it. As for the Spirit Vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon elegant wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. Are you sure about that? Okay, Sand, could you spare a moment? While Krell goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean, there's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first. You see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wonder if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Oh, did you make a meal for everybody or something? Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Oh, look at her! Oh, look at her. That's a cute little cooking outfit right there. That's nice. Of course, it's pink. That's really nice. Look at her. She's cute. You're looking good, Totaro. There you are, San. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of a home cooking. Unlike Krill, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian resurrection, really. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So, I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven, even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. Cool. Look at her. She done became a culinary. Or took on culinary. And became a cook. There. Baked to perfection. Even if I do say so myself. Is it a baked potato? Oh, you made your own bread. Cool. But is it cinnamon toast bread? Okay. It's bread. That's kind of mean right there. It's bread. Well, if it's cinnamon toast bread, sure. I'm sorry. Totoro always learning things. Now that's character creation or character growth. Yeah. Like, I remember in the beginning she was like, oh, I want to fight with the Scions too. So she was trying to be a summoner but sucked. So I was like, okay, it's fine. Just keep on trying. You might get something. But I guess she's taking on all the crafting type of jobs now. Like, what do you call it? That somebody is primarily just a crafter and that's it? I think that's Totoro right here. Your cake looks like bread. Right? That's not a cake. Man, I don't know what to say to this. Yeah, Omnicrafter. Yeah. Totoro's an Omnicrafter. That's what she is. Okay, well, I don't want to be rude. Your cake looks like bread is pretty hilarious. You know, Totoro is a cute potato. Her little outfit's nice. I like it. Okay. You know, I'm just going with smells great. I will cheer her on because she hasn't been doing really good with anything else. Doesn't it just... It's called Archon loaf. Or Archon loaf. In case you're wondering. And it's what they eat over at Charlene. Oh. Simple fare, I admit. But I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Krill tells me it's a good source of aether. So it should lend them a bit of strength at least. Oh, nice. There's truly nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. Krill, and if it isn't Rambros too? Oh! I remember him from the Crystal Tower. Okay. I trust you require no introductions either, San. Yeah. Greetings, my friend. Full glad I am to see you well. I confess I have Malm's long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain elegant technologies. I have been keeping Rambros, I'm guessing that's how you say his name, appraised of the events in the first. Suffice it to say, he knows about the XIV. Yeah, of course he knows Garatia. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Ahem. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole purpose of Allegan royalty. Its mechanism closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bother to come here. Empty-headed as I am, the answer being rather brazenly to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Okay, what is it? Tell him that we never doubted him. Oh, that's nice. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remain behind have yet to play our part, but when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this is discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide. But either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, San. If you would be so good as to see Ramboro's message and Totaro's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Krill, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure everything's as it should? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. My gosh, it's burnt! Okay, no. Okay, excuse me, Rembros. As a fellow Charlian, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rollin' Berry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. Oh, look, she's nervous. Much. I see. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Totaro. Dense and unpleasant, exactly as it should be. What? What? Just so, the very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. I can see that. In Charlian, the majority regard food as source of nourishment rather than enjoyment, save for those few who actually research the culinary arts. We pay little heed to the necessities of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily substances. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The rest is a flavor that continues to defy description. That sounds terrible. Yet for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnable convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience among busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on it, or on hand. I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. How it takes me back. If there is enough, perhaps you could spare some for the Exarch? He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Sam, will you deliver the loaf, please? Be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. You got it. I'll send this trash bag to them. That's like the literal medicine that's terrible for you. This is not an ordinary errand boy job. This is advanced interdimensional errand boy job. Yeah, definitely. I'm jumping off a cliff. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Well, I got some bread that's terrible. By the 12, Archon loaf. However, did you come by this? I swear it had come straight from Charlin. No, I didn't go see Charlin, but Rembros said that he. His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition, and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the sincere of our friends, and to deserve it. But I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament. So I ask that you have faith in me and what we do. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Okay. There's our friends. Wait, where's your Stola?
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Scions throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Scions quickly and quietly.
Yeah, let's get at it.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
I don't know if you want to hear this, Alphino, but here you go, man. Well, enough. Tough time is not on our side. I'm sorry, but things have taken... Yeah, it's better to be... I mean, I want to be straight up honest with him, but at the same time, you know, I don't want to say it too rough. I mean, I feel like they're pretty well, but, you know, they're not in the best of conditions. Okay. Yeah, time is not on our side.
Indeed. Heartening though it is to know we can stay a while longer, returning home must remain our priority.
I don't know about staying a while longer.
This seems an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Have you made any progress?
We have, as it happens. One moment.
There we go. 6 of them.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
Yeah, I saw those too.
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition.
Okay.
Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects, notably, do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
It was a part of his body.
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. but don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works, we shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Oh, man.
Let us be off then. We have Scions to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
Garatia, he's trying to come over. I think that's what the 6th one was, because that was one thing I noticed too. I was like, why is there 6? I don't need one.
1 is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
Okay, and if it doesn't work and you're in it, what then?
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Right.
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
Right.
I would.
I see.
Wait. I just thought about it. What about your Stola? Wait, that was one thing that just came to my mind. Because, like, of course there's 5 of them here. But if they only had 6 of the crystals, and there's 5 of them here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Reen's not coming back with us. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was like, what about Reen? She's coming with us. No, Reen's not coming with us. She's staying here. Duh. She doesn't have a body in our world. Thancred. I, for one, support the XR's choice. To be alive is to be driven by a purpose, and few are driven as him. It's stupid, but I never really stopped to think about what would happen once the vessels were complete. And now... No, there's no point. I hope the test is a success. Truly. Yeah, same here. I'm sorry, I know it was childish to storm off like that. And probably to feel the way I do as well. Pull yourself together, Alize. When our grandfather first decided to journey to Eorzea, Alize did not take kindly to my silence on the subject. Don't pretend to understand things you don't, she said, and rather shouted. Having oft been the object of her scorn, I am predisposed to sympathize with the XR. But I do understand how she feels. Better now than I ever did. Certainly. Hast thou a moment, San? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friends spake not in the certainties, yet of Beak Lu have the right of it. It's possible to predict the outcome of this plan with some confidence, and it is their assessment that given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch had been subject to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in its ethereal composition. Yeah, although thyself did demonstrate in merging with Arbert, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this does give us a cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success do hinge. The XIV must need recognize his past self as simply that himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul, and any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. Take on Urianger, you talk a lot, man. This is seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh a century, our friend have striven only to deliver this realm to deliver thee. And to that singular end did the cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal XIV. Henceforth, none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. Take on Urianger, you talk way too much, my friend. I love you, dude, but man. Okay. Faded memories. Right then, while the XR literally pours his own sweat and blood into his allotted tasks, it seems only fair that we attend to our own. Dealing with Elidibus and his minions. Just so, and there is one other matter. In light of our deteriorating health, Y'shtola should not be left alone at Ender. Might I trouble you to visit her, San? See that all is well? Oh yeah, she's busy still studying all that stuff. I would go myself, but I think she might be safer in the hands of one less prone to collapsing. I agree, man. My thanks. You may leave the Scions to us. Once they are out of the way, we will retire to Eulmore, and when Y'shtola has finished plumbing the depths, I'd like the two of you to join us there. Alright, cool. If you are bound for Indier, I suggest you go via Vanmount Yards. Our friends there will be glad to provide a boat for you. Okay, cool. Thanks. Let us be on our way then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Wait, I have a gift for you from Tataru. I have a delivery from the source, Kupo. Courtesy of one Tataru. Oh, I love that second line. I'm doing that one. Kupo? Oh, they even made the sound. That's cute. Thank you for giving me that face. You're a long way from home, Moogle. And this is from Tataru, is it? Whatever could it be? Oh, I love that touch. Archon loaf, thou sayest? Why, even to hear the name does transport me to the times long past. Bread from another world? May I try some? Sure. Mayest thou, child. Thou must. That said, though, I personally disagree with the consensus. I do nonetheless advise thee to temper thy expectations. Yeah, definitely. Wiser words have never been uttered. Don't expect this is some cinnamon toast bread. Though it's rarely darkened our dining table at home, I can attest that it was standard fare at the studium. Indeed, a slice was never far from our peers' hands. Alphino, you really are an unbearable snob sometimes, do you know that? Well dang, Alize, girl, calm down, man. What I believe my colleagues are trying to say is that we appreciate the gesture. Tell Tataru we'll do our best to return before she forced to seek further supplementary employment. Yeah, that's true. We don't want her to keep getting jobs. Right, let's really be off now. We can find a drink to wash down the bread on the way. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need that. Dang, Alphino's still thinking about it. He's still thinking about what Alizé was telling him. Yeah, this place was cool. This was a really cool place. Oh! What the heck?
Excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone.
What did you do to your Stola?
None of my doing, lest you misunderstand. The link between her body and soul wavers.
Oh, she collapsed.
I know not what you hoped to find here, but it will avail you naught to learn of our past.
Reviewing the records yet again. Really? You worry too much, Elidibus. This dedication to your duty verges on obsession. To think some thought you ill-suited for the role. How wrong they were. But come, turn your gaze outside the window, my friend. The rains have ceased, and we have been graced with another beautiful day. They got dusted.
It fades. Fades away into oblivion. Does the world no longer have need of me? No. I am Elidibus, and I will fulfill my duty.
Oh, is that what he really looks like?
Sundered though you may be, you fought for the world's salvation. For hope.
No, that's a warrior of light.
It swells within me, empowers me. Now I may carry out my mission. And yet, why do I yearn for this? Why do I struggle so?
Yo, hold on. What are you doing?
I shall take her into my safekeeping. If you want her back, you will do as I ask. Show me your strength. I would take your measure.
So you want to fight right now? Is that what you're saying?
I have prepared a suitable arena. You need but ride the flow of ether.
I think he's asking to fight right now. Well, let's do this. I'm ready right now. Oh yeah, we're good. I love this song, dude. So we're right back into Tempest. You are familiar with this place. I believe this is... this remembered Amarat, right? Proceed to the capital. I shall return your comrade to you there. Enough of this. I'm tired of games. Yeah, enough of this. You speak as if you were disappointed in me. Why? I am your enemy, and you mine. Our goals are in conflict, and we are fated to clash. Or had you hoped that feigned sympathy and false understanding would cast your crimes in a less reprehensible light? I don't know why I was struggling there. Reprehensible light. That I would come to look upon you as a friend. You who have slaughtered my people, who would tear down everything we have built. What are you talking about, man? You do not deny it. Then, very well. Let us change the cast of this trial. You will know what you have stolen from us. Oh, his Ascian friends. But you guys were doing bad things in our world. Oh, they're the receptionists in each of the starting places in the Realm Reborn. But do not imagine I crave remorse, only justice. Why would you give us the Adventurers Guild receptionist? Welcome to the trip down memory lane. Forward, hero. We shall see how strong you have become. Can I talk to him? No, I can't talk to them. Enter the ethereal stream. Okay, I'm already here. Let us begin. Rest assured there are no tricks. You need but defeat the enemies before you. First, something easy. Those whom a budding hero might encounter at the beginning of his tale. And I believe I have perfect subjects. I freaking knew he would do something like that. Let not their appearance stay your hand. Beneath the facade, they are merely monsters. Oh no, Papalymo, Ida, Thankered, and Urstola? No, that's messed up, man. I gotta fight my... Oh no, this ain't... I don't like that. That's screwed up, man. And freaking Urstola's healing them. I'm sorry, I gotta take you out first, girl. I love you, but... Oh man. And they gotta make up sound effects. Really? Please don't make sound effects. Sorry, guys. I love you guys, but I gotta take you out. I don't like that they have sound effects of their deaths. All too easy, I see. But at least you now understand the rules. Thus, we will make our way to the capital. Are you trying to unnerve me? That was in poor taste even for you. Oh, I like that. That appearance should unsettle you, so. I was under the impression you simply destroyed all who bared your way. What? Sparing nary a thought to the possibility that your foe could be someone's beloved. Oh, but come, we shouldn't dwell on the beginning when so much of your story awaits. I get what he's trying to say. Dang, dude. Menphilia, Ode Urianger, and Moonbrea? Oh, man. But I understand what he's trying to do now. He's trying to make us understand exactly how he felt when someone was coming to take out who we cared for. Every tale requires villains. Defeat them and claim your place as heroes. Oh, Nero and Gaius? Oh, no, even the... What? Oh, man. Well, these two... I mean, these... Nero, he's kind of good now. And Gaius, he's trying to help us out right now, too. But as far as these two, like, Livia... Sorry. And you... I barely remember you, dude. I'm sorry. Well done, Champion Eorzea. Well done. Onward, then. Over the bodies... They're gone. Of the fallen. And here's Sid with Biggs and Wedge working on that old machine. I forgot. Oh, now we have our Alliance heroes. And oh no, they're gonna show you taste many triumphs, yes, but too did you taste bitter tragedy. Who could forget the Crystal Braves, that idealistic pathic dream born from mouth form? Let your hatred burn and strike them down with all your might. Well, the Crystal Braves, like Ilbert, he was terrible. I mean, he had his reasons, I understand that, but at the same time, like, he was like doing so much bad. Oh, sorry, Ilbert. With such ease, yet again, you did always grow stronger with every battle. And why did I have to be reminded of this? I mean, we know she lived, but ugh. That had me go through so many emotions when I first experienced that. Okay, Elidibus, what's up next? It seems it will take more than those monsters to leave an impression upon you. Or mayhap you simply fail to understand my meaning. Not that it matters. No, I have dealt with countless heroes, and always ends with the same way. No amount of reasoning will bridge our differences, will result in happiness for all. Whatever your reasons may be, I cannot be bound by them. I can but put faith in my own belief, and fight for them with all my being. You're wrong. We can always strive for understanding, for compassion. It seems there's nothing for it but for us to fight. I'm gonna go with the first one. How very naive. If you are willing to compromise on your beliefs, you are all but admit that they are flawed. And I assure you, I have no intention of compromising on mine. Come, what may I fulfill my mission as Elidibus? But enough talk. It is not your assertion that I wish to know, but your strength. Oh, Herschel, falsely accused of regicide, you fled to the snow-swept fields. And Corthus. Herschel. And then, you know, had you and the Scions met your demise that day in the town, Liabrea might have been spared his. But not only did you stubbornly live, you hurled yourself into a thick dragon song war. Yo, this hurts even more now, knowing that the voice actor just died. And the song, too. Man. And here goes Alphino and Totaro when we were traveling together. Daggone, dude. Man, you weren't lying about this memory lane stuff. Alright, who is it you want us to fight? Swept along by the tides of events, you pursued and slew those who sought to stop the unending conflict, just as you were bid. Oh, King Thornton and his knights, or was it thirst for vengeance that drove you? Yo, I love this trial. The trial here was amazing. Yeah, the Knights of the Round reveal was great. Alright, King Thornton, it's you.
Impossible.
I trust you are beginning to limber up. Do keep up fine form. Oh, the brothers. And his little assistant. You know, his little assistant was definitely MVP. He was a good guy. Okay, around heroes, people want to flock. People who harbor all manners of motives, each better than the last. Oh no, you want me to fight these? Come, let the curtains rise on the grand finale melee. Well, in competition, we did fight. Oh gosh, I did fight him in competition, but it was nothing in ill-minded or anything, you know. Wow, Lucia's amazing as always. Sorry, Emmerich. Sorry, Raybon. No more than they deserve in the end. Their hand of friendship was tainted with personal desire. Man, go on somewhere, dude. Oh man, Yasiel and daggone, I can't remember how to say his name. I can't remember it, but man, their little relationship, her sleeping with him, yeah, something else. You know what comes next? You put an end to the Dragonsong War. Yeah, Nidhogg and Asinian. I like how that just went right along with the music a little bit. There is no saving your comrade this time. All you can do is cut them off. This was an awesome fight. And just look at his design too. I always love the way this boss looked. Oh, there he is. Probably didn't even have to send him out, but whatever, it's fine. And you're finished. And as simple as that, a 1,000-year war is brought to its conclusion. But every end marks a new beginning, and for heroes such as you, there is only ever conflict. Alright, let me guess, Stormblood time? I wonder who we're gonna be fighting. Race Velga! Yeah, there we go. An ending to mark a new beginning. Albert. Ah, yeah! That's right. He did say that. Wow, dude. They are really touching back on a lot of things in the past. How are you enjoying the walk down memory lane? I dare say there will have been a few individuals for whom you harbor deep feelings, whose passing caused you keenest grief. That is what our people are to us. An irreplaceable existence that can ill be lost. I will save them, for they are my. Draw your weapon. Wait for him to continue. I'm gonna draw my weapon. I think not, hero. Not yet. You must content yourself with the company of monsters a while longer. Emperor Solus has kindled an insatiable flame. Garlemald was its name, and its rage across the land, consuming all in its path. Following the tale of Ash, she set forth for Alamigo and Doma into the storm of blood. Yeah. Man, her, like, she didn't need to go through all that. Again, you fought, and again, you grew stronger, and so strong that we could no longer control you. Yours is an unnatural beastly strength, and we shall lay it bare. Wait, where did, yeah, I saw Alizé and, what's her name? Alizé and, Lise. In order to gain a foothold in the liberation effort, you journey to the far eastern plains. Oh, Magni! And encountered the land's greatest warriors and sought to win them over. Man, Magni, I love him, dude. Alright, go on. And then, of course, this guy. He was just a tool.
The sun cannot be extinguished.
The strong are drawn to the strong. Thus did you gather new allies to your banner. And I love this song, too. I freaking love the song to Yatsuo's trial, dude. This is such goodness right here. Yet where ardent souls gather, so too do fires burn. The flames burn them all, hero, reduce them to nothingness, and like the ethereal morning dew they are. Oh no, Hien! And no, Yuguri and Hien! Oh no, I can't do that to my girl, Yuguri. Yugiri. Man, I love Yugiri. Man, don't let me beat her up. And Hien, man. Aw, dude, y'all are... Yugiri, that was like... I freaking love Yugiri. Sorry, girly. I always love you and still do. Oh, I can't even stun him. Sorry, Hien, I gotta beat you up too, man. Dang, this is messed up. Aw, you did not hesitate, or perhaps could not. No matter, let us turn our attention to the finale. Oh wait! There's Gosetsu and Yatsu as well. Here we shall have a test between fellow beasts, and the only fitting would you not agree. Xenos. When I fought you in this flesh, so was I who would triumph. Will you turn the tables this time? Uh-oh. And we're fighting Xenos, of course. I gotta destroy it, destroy it. And I didn't make... Oh god, that damage. Oh my gosh. That damage. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's get it. Actually, no, let's not do that. But I will use this. Okay. Where you at, Xenos? Okay, there you are. Let's go. Is that all? No, I'm ready for more. Wait, is that... Oh, okay. Wait, that was it for Xenos? Oh, come on. My creation appears to have lost its form. Is it no easy thing to see through the eyes of the beast such as him? In any event, there is only so much to be learned by taking your measure this way. Let us try something different in an event. Come, we continue this within. Oh man, that whole moment was so freaking good, dude. All those callbacks and all that. An impressive show of strength. But surely no more than a foretaste of that which in itself conqueror is capable. Such might requires a fairer measure. To compare like with like, yes. I shall just have to test you myself. About time. I'm ready, Elidibus. Let's do it. Oh, you gonna do it in Arbert's body, though? Come on, San. Show me what you can do. Fallen warrior, Arbert. Really? You gonna do it in his body? That's cruel. That is so freaking cruel. That's so freaking cruel. Oh, really? It's tough. Okay, that's a good thing for some people to skip it, but I feel like you really have to experience it first before trying to skip it. Interesting. Alright, Arbert, let's do... Well, Elidibus Arbert, let's do this. Let's see how strong you really are. I may not be the real Arbert, but you do well not to underestimate me. Well, I'm not. All that made of him the warrior he was. Every battle waged, every blow swung, it was part of my head. So come, fight me like you mean to take my head, okay? Oh no, run. Oh, dang it, I didn't make that. It's fine. We'll be okay. Hang on, he really is kicking my butt. Oh, we made it. Okay, we're good. Put another protective barrier on. Hang on, is that all you're gonna do, my man? Come on out. I don't think he's gonna stay there long, but if I can get some damage, I knew it. Good. I sense your murderous intent. Are you trying to turn me into a murderer? You kill me given a chance may have you think to recover this body. If so, prove that it will be no use to me. Prove that I can't best you and fight. Okay, come with me. Everything you've got. Alright, get ready. Good. Come on, reach him. I seen that. I thought maybe my 1 foot wasn't affected too much, but it did. It's not too bad, it's pretty... I mean, he is kicking my butt. But still, at the same time, so far, it seems pretty good. Uh-oh. Okay, oh no! I went right into that. Alright, we're at 45%. So far, so good. But it probably won't hurt to use it. I see, you're a different beast from when you first faced my creations. Very well, I will transcend my very limits and we'll see what you're truly capable of. Hold nothing back, for neither will I. Alright, well, let's do it. I'm ready. Earth Breath, my enrage. Don't black as night must be used aggressively. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't ever really use it unless I really have to. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. I'm curious, what job did you do this fight on? Oh, get out of there. Wait, 5 minutes remaining. No, we'll finish it. I guess I should not lollygag and actually reminisce all the memories. Alright, reduce that damage real quick, man. Since you like to be there a lot. Come on. We almost got him. Hang in there. Okay. So far we're good in this area. Okay. Okay. Just come right here. We'll be fine. I know I'm taking damage right there, but it's okay. Woo! There we go, there we go, there we go. Finish him. Yeah. I have my answer. Oh, man. That was pretty tough. Man. My hands are a little bit sweaty.
You have grown stronger since last we fought. The result of your trials in the first, no doubt.
Have you finished?
Oh, you stole her.
My apologies. I freed myself as soon as I awoke, but rather too late, I see. Now, Elidibus, if you have ceased trading blows, I would trade words with you.
Oh, she's not a one that wants a fight. She's like, yo, let's see what you got to say. I love this girl, dude.
I have a theory, you see. One concerning that which you seek to accomplish. It stems from who, or rather what, you truly are. A primal.
Zodiac, aren't you?
The ancients created Zodiac to deliver the star from destruction. If the magic that brought him forth is the precursor of what we know as summoning, then Zodiac would have been instilled with a presiding desire. I found it among the records at Anida, and it came as no surprise. Were I faced with the world's destruction, I too would wish for the same. Salvation. I know that you sacrificed yourself to become Zodiac's heart. How you came to be separated from him is less clear. But if you are a fragment of his being, it stands to reason a desire for the world's salvation would drive you. And thus did you seek to inspire the masses to rise up as warriors of light, going so far as to use Arbert as a symbol of hope.
Correct on all counts. Such is my nature, and such are my methods.
This girl is a freaking genius.
I have aided heroes. I have made them. I have even become them. This served not only to strengthen me, but also to facilitate the work of my brothers, such as Emmet Selk, with his penchant for nation building.
Then you will be all too familiar with the fickleness of mankind. We change, we forget, and what little we do remember becomes twisted and fragmented over time. For which reason, you deem us unfit to carry on your legacy. But are you, yourself, free of these foibles? As the last witness of the final days, do you remember everything that was lost? Or even the things you cared about?
Get to the point.
A primal is shaped by the hope that fuels it. Even should this hope be something as simple as the world's salvation, it is the collective desire of innumerable disparate souls crying out for deliverance. Having drawn your strength from such a cacophony of voices, can you truly be sure you still speak with your own?
Dang, your Stola be tailing them.
Your question is irrelevant.
Whoa, okay, what's up then?
No matter how much I should change, no matter how much I should forget, I shall ever remember my duty.
Yeah, it's the rejoining, yeah, we get it.
At times I stand with my brethren. At times I stand against them. All that I might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For Elidibus is my name and my mission, guiding my every deed.
Alright, man.
But
Just
enough talk. You have shown me sufficient proof of your might. As I am now, I would struggle to defeat you. Yet I have still to play all of my cards. If I could offer you some semblance of sport, your lessers would pose no threat to me. Would you not agree, warrior of darkness?
I don't know, I feel like my crew's pretty good. I don't know, he doesn't pose so much of a threat right now, unless his... Somebody's dancing down there. Okay, no. But unless he has... Like, if he releases Arbert's body and he becomes extremely powerful in some way. Emmett Silk did nothing wrong. You know, Emmett Silk... He definitely was a good guy. I could see what he was trying to do. But at the same time, like, you're dooming so many other people. Like, there's sometimes you just gotta allow something to happen. Like, you can't always save everything. He's starting to sound like a broken record, and he himself realizes this. Exactly. Yeah, he definitely noticed that. Elidibus, come on, man. What are you gonna do? Alright, Yashola, what is next? Yeah, it's been an eventful morning. If indeed it is morning, I have no idea how long I was unconscious. Regardless, I am gratified to see that my efforts at Indier have borne fruit. We have confirmed the nature of our foe and his plot. Now then, what news from the surface? Well, I got some bread, and your bodies is not doing so well. I see. Then let us make for Yulmore at once. We have much to share with our comrades. Elidibus' parting threat, not least of all. Ah, but forgive me. I would seem my belongings did not accompany me here. I will need to retrieve them from Endir. Well, with luck, the ethereal stream you traveled still lingers. I won't be long. Well, careful going through that. Oh, is that a mask? No. Wait. It is a mask. An Ascian mask? It looks like one of the Ascian masks. And I picked it up. Okay, that's an interesting cutscene. Oh, I haven't yet. A peculiar crystal. I thought it was a mask. Yeah, it looks like one of the Ascian masks. A peculiar crystal lies on the floor. Upon its surface is an array of lights, twinkled like a tiny constellation of stars. Day 4th. Bring honor to seat of who? The distorted voice of an ancient rings out in your mind. A moment preserved in the crystal, it would seem. I remember an Asian mask kind of looked it like that. You notice something else glinting up ahead. Okay. Oh, there's more of them, but in different colors. You found 3 more crystals lying on the floor. Though they differ in color and decoration, each is identical in shape, right? And I can see different... Wait! I know there's certain names and shapes with constellations, but I don't have them all memorized. I do recognize the gray one a little bit, though. You focus on the crystals and find the words they hold ring clearer than before. Behold, my friends, embraced by the earth and cares by the wind, a vibrant life flourish, all is right in creation. There can be no greater joy than to use our wisdom for the good of our people, no greater pride. May all know happiness, now and forevermore. I shall take all of those and stick them in my pocket. Where can I find more? I think I see more in the distance now. There do not appear to be any more crystals in the hall. Perhaps it would be wise to continue the search outside. Oh. Basically what he's saying, yeah, zodiac crystals and all, or zodiac constellations. Basically what I'm saying here is, hey, these look pretty. I want to take them. Why don't I collect them? I don't see any more here. Maybe there's more outside I can collect? Your instincts serve you true, and you discovered another 2 crystals. As you reach out with your consciousness, new voices begin to echo in your mind. The heavens are ablaze, and the land rent asunder. What will become of the world? Is life itself to be denied? Come what may, we must not surrender to despair. If we but hold fast to hope, we may yet find a path to salvation. More crystals, nice. I don't know what they're saying in my mind, but I'll stick it in my pocket. No. The voices tell an incomplete tale. Might more remain to be found? I mean, that's pretty much what I'm gathering here. At this point, you wonder why Warrior of Light hasn't decided to lick one of them. Just because... this looks like a popsicle. I'm gonna lick it. You soon discover 2 more crystals. Rather, too soon. In fact, as if someone wanted you to find them. Everything burns, crumbles, decays. I hear the lamentations of my brethren, and soon there will be only silence. We will deliver our star from its doom. This we swear. So please, dry your tears. Oh look, more crystals. I wonder if it's candy. Oh wait, Halloween is right around the corner. I'm trick-or-treating. Whatever awaits at the end of your search, it is plain you have yet to find it. I'm not gonna lie. If they make candy called soul crystals and they look like this, I would eat it. Sure enough, your persistence is swiftly rewarded, this time with 3 crystals. Yum yum. The time has come. We shall rewrite the laws of creation, and we shall save our star. From this life, our Savior, born, may I be worthy of the honor. I feel my soul turning, slowly but erratically, and the power I wield begins to seem terrible. But this is right. It is right. Oh look, somebody dropped some more candy. I'll stick that in my pocket, save it for later. Okay. The tale of the crystal's weave seems to near its end, but it isn't over yet. We got more candy to collect. You know what? It definitely does kind of look like candy. The jobstones really do look like candy. Especially the magnets that Square Enix is starting to sell. I'm trying to get some for myself, but they always keep selling out. But they definitely look like candy. Oh, just one. With almost melancholy inevitability, the 12th crystal soon reveals itself to your questing eye. Thou salvation is ours. It came at a great sacrifice. All that remains is to pray. To pray that we will one day meet again beneath the blue sky. Oh, I guess this is the last one. Judging by its testimony, it would seem the voice was recorded in the wake of the final days. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It sounded like someone was talking about the final day, like they're experiencing it or something. As you scan the area, another glint catches your eye. Yeah, see something over there in the light. Yep. Gone is the brilliant radiance of life, replaced by the sickly glow of malformed creatures. Is this to be how it ends, for we who love the star with all our being? No, I will not suffer it to be so. Well, well, we meet again, my new old friend. I knew it was you. The receptionist at the Bureau of Secretariat? No. Hydaulus. How good of you to remember. I see you have been collecting stars. I see you've been collecting candy. Can I eat one? I speak of those crystals. They have constellations etched upon them, yes? High in the heavens, those stars shine their guiding light down upon the lives below, fitting symbols for the convocation of 14. Would you not agree? As you will have gathered, each crystal bears an account of the life of a member of the convocation, as the remembered by the unsundered. Least you worry, they aren't concepts. They are far too incomplete to be so, but they suffice for imbuing memories within sundered souls, that they might be restored to their office. Keep them. I am sure Emmett Silk wouldn't mind. Really? You think so? Well, thanks. So, how fare you of late? You are feuding with Elidibus this time, I believe? Yeah, he's been a pain in the butt, man. Like, every time, he kept on wanting me to go to these trials. He said he would kick my butt, but I actually kicked his butt. You know, how to stop. I shall refrain from passing comment on your struggle. It is not my place to do so, long departed as I am. But if I may give you voice to personal desire, I would rather you live. If you do not, how will you keep your promise to Emmett Silk, the promise to remember? It must weigh heavy, the burden of all those memories. To one who has lived a life such as yours, I can well imagine how Elidibus's existence might seem hollow, how empty his single-minded pursuit of a half-forgot cause must appear. But know that his devotion is not without reason. even if he himself can no longer remember what that reason is. Well, that is quite enough to talk about, Elidibus. I will see if you can reunite the wayward stars. Reunite them? I mentioned before that there was a member of the Convocation who opposed Zodiac's summoning and defected, one whose office was left unvacant. Defectors having been deemed unworthy of commemoration, no crystal exists for individual in question, or it shouldn't exist at any rate, and wouldn't, had a friend not created one in secret. I definitely recognize this one. A crystal bearing the forgotten name of his office, along with a magic of his own conceiving, a singular indication embodying his spirit. Among all the office, the 14th was most unusual, for while the rest sat in the Amarat, its holder was charged with gaining an intimate knowledge of the wider world. In the course of his duty, he traveled the length and breadth of every land and befriended countless folk. He encountered troubles too, of course, matters which he could simply have referred to the Convocation, but that was not his way. Nay, more often than not, he would call upon his comrades and together resolve matters themselves. Wait, was Arbert? Such is the magic seal within that crystal, the magic to summon the stars to your side. In time of greatest need, should you wish upon it with all your heart, it will surely answer your call. But And now it is where it belongs. Oh, there is no need for your thanks, but nor will I hear any complaints about it either. After all, I cannot say whether I act on my own volition or by the will of my recreator. Interesting. I feel like I've seen the symbol in this mask.
I was wondering where you disappeared to.
Together at one point, but I can't remember when though.
Is something troubling you?
It's this piece of candy. I can't get it. I'll stick it in my pocket. Okay. It's nothing. All good here.
No? Very well. I have everything. Let's hurry back to the surface.
Interesting. Okay. So, Hithlodus. Okay. Remember Jobstones. They work by imparting knowledge of past bearers to you. They are memory containers. Oh, yeah, that is right. I forgot about that. I remember the Dark Knight job was definitely touching on that concept with Frey. These gems are the same. So you wonder how Jobstones, aka soul crystals, were made and the know-how was passed down. That crystal belonged to you, the adventurer, the 14th seat of the Convocation, who now goes as San in Tokyo, and Emmett Silk made it. And as he made it, he recreated Mythodolus to deliver it to you once again. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I like that. He's pretty much considering me a part of the Convocation. That's neat. I like that touch. Ah, fresh air at last. I would celebrate my return to dry land with a pot of tea, had we the luxury of time. But we must be prepared for Elidibus. Given what we know, it is planned that he will not be deterred from his course. And nor would I, were I him, not if it meant forsaking everything I loved. That said, I have not forgotten how Emmett Silk sought to find common ground with us for all our misgivings. Yeah, Emmett Silk really did try to work with us a lot of times. Ultimately, our differences were not to be abridged, of course, but one must always try. Emmett Silk understood this, and this gesture resonated with you. Perhaps you might consider reaching out to his brethren. Though it may all be for naught, you of all people know that there is no such thing as foregone conclusions. That's true.